Oh, okay, fantastic.
No, I'm talking about person, yeah.
Sure. Absolutely, yeah.
Great.
Anyway, I just so I designed it. I enjoy it.
As you can see, I think you have experienced the class.
I've tried to do some
All right. Good morning. Everyone's doing okay from the last couple sessions. My name is Michelle Claverie, and I work here at NNU in the Data Center. And what we do is we work with educators using our HACK model of innovative instruction, which is an instructional model, to effectively integrate technology into the classroom. So it's not about the technology, it never is. It's about students and learning and getting them engaged. But technology is a great tool and a great lever for us. So we really try to capitalize on that. This session is 30 and 50. So I am basically going to talk for 50 straight minutes and show you 30 different platforms, okay? It's going to be really fast. I'm not going to show you how to create something on every single one, but I will talk about what you can do with it. If you want to talk after and you're like, hey, there's this one, can you show me where to click? Ask me then, but during this time, I won't stop and show where to click on things. To get to this handout, so go to a web browser and just type in bit.ly/30 and 50 TVAC, and it will take you to this Google Doc. I'll give you guys a second. Or you can just write it down so you have it. But this has all the links to every single platform I'm going to talk about. Okay. It has all my information up at the top. This is my Twitter handle. I try to stay pretty active on Twitter and post things. You can also email me if you have a question about anything that I shared today. The first one is a bonus. Who has a Bitmoji in here? Remember Bitmoji? Yes, okay. Bitmoji is just an app that you can download on your phone, but it makes a little cartoon character of you. Right? It's kind of fun. And there are so many Bitmojis. Just crazy amounts. So it's kind of a fun thing. All right. So this is the handout. I'm going to move away from the screen, so have that written down because it's going away. And I'm just going to start working my way through the platforms. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is Grammarly. Grammarly is a platform that helps students edit their papers. So what they can do is you can take any sort of text and you can type it into here. I'll spell something wrong. There we go. There we go. You'll type it into here and it'll say, wow, okay, there's a comma that you missed. Students can just click on it, or they can drop down and see, what the grammatical error is that they made. The cool thing is you can upload, so students can take a whole paper and upload an entire paper in there to just check their grammar before they turn it in. Even, it's, as a teacher, we just appreciate that. It's a really quick run through to do that. So it's pretty basic. Grammarly, you just click on new. These are all the things. I've uploaded tons of things in there. Anything I write, I put it into Grammarly always. Also, Grammarly has a Google add-on, so you can add it to your email, and then it's also added to your browser, so it will pop up for you on websites and places where you're entering text. It's awesome. Okay, the next one I'm going to tell you about is Google Team Drive. So we all, if you have a Google account, you know that you have a personal drive, but they released a feature about a year ago now where they have team drives. So what you can do is it's right underneath My Drives, Team Drives, and you can create these drives and invite people to collaborate in it. So anyone that you add to that drive has access to all of the documents and the information in there. You do not have to reshare anything. So if you're trying to get material to your students or something, I've seen instructors use it so they have a drive for each class. Or we use it a lot on campus for committees. Maybe our Cornerstone committee has a team drive, and everyone knows that they go there for all of the documents that are in there. So it's kind of a nice collaboration around documents, and you don't have to worry about sharing permissions. You always get someone's requesting access, or I forgot to share it with this individual. It's all in the same spot. So that is Team Drive. Okay, Canva. Canva is one of my all-time favorite platforms. I see a fellow Canva. Yeah, I use it. You'll see, we use it all the time at the Toshio Center for Work. I use it personally to make cards or programs or whatever it may be. It's a great platform for students to create and demonstrate on. Kind of a way to maybe break away from a traditional presentation, to maybe get students to make an infographic or a poster, or just maybe instead of writing a reflection, they create a reflection on here using some creative juices. I like it because it has, let's see, I'll show you here. So when you hit create a design, there are templates that you can choose from. There's different sizes. So if you want to make a PowerPoint presentation, there is a slide deck size. But you can start from a template, or you can start from scratch and make your own. The features on bringing it over, why it's so nice to use with students, it's all housed in here. So there are different layouts, and then you can bring over any type of element. You can just click on it, it drops it on over. You can create tons of things. We're having a baby girl. Right, but it's a great place for students to be able to demonstrate their understanding. And it's free, except for some of the images do cost money. There is a way around that. I have students who use images that you have to pay for, but they never actually download it. They share it to me in a link, and they never have to pay for the image, but it's in their presentation. So I was like, that's a clever workaround. But there you go, Canva. All right, the next one I'm going to show you is Slides Carnival. Slides Carnival, it's cool. It's basically, it has all of these different PowerPoint slide templates that you can download as PowerPoint document or a Google Slides document. And it gives you some more options. So instead of maybe the ones that come with PowerPoint, so here's a fun one. You can click it. And then you can hit use as a Google Slides theme, and it will start a new slide deck for you in Google. Or you can click download as a PowerPoint template, and it will download it as a PowerPoint, and then you can open that up and you can edit it. There's tons of different themes and things on there just to kind of, change it up a little bit. Just kind of a fun one to use. So that is Slides Carnival. All right, the next one I'm going to show you it's Google Sites. So Google Sites recently updated, probably, I think it's been this way for 2 years now. But the old Google Sites was really clunky. I don't know if anyone used it. It was a nightmare to work with. But they updated it and they made it way more user friendly. So when you go to your Google Sites, to get to anything Google, you click on the little icons up in the top corner, and it's just when you click on Sites. It will take you to the original site. Okay, so this is the clunky one that you don't want to use. But right here it says New Google Sites. I don't know why it still takes you to the old one, because it's been a little while since they've had the new one. When you click on the new one, it will bring you to their new interface. If you've used Google Slides or really Google Slides, it has a lot of those nice features in there. So it's integrated with anything Google. So you can drop in a Google Doc, a Google Slides, a sheet directly into this website here. Students can create portfolios. In my last session, I talked about how I use this to create learning tracks for my class. So it was activities that students completed independently that coincided with things that we did in class. You can embed videos and text, and then it's a web page. So anyone can access it once you hit publish. So then you don't have to worry about sharing things. Students don't have to have a code or anything. They can just get in there to get the content. It's a really great, if you do portfolios, my students also make portfolios with these, and it's pretty good. All right. The next one is Hemingway app. Hemingway is similar to Grammarly. Has anyone used Hemingway? The difference is in Grammarly, it tells you, you notice how I clicked and I put in the comma and capitalize. Hemingway will tell you what you did wrong, but you have to go in there and fix it. So it takes, some teachers don't like that students can just click to put the comma in there. They want them to know why am I putting that comma there? So it will tell you in this sentence, you are missing a comma. And then it will help the student kind of figure out where it needs to go. Same type of feature, you can copy and paste your text into here, or you can upload the document into it. It also is cool, it gives you the grade level and then the word count and then a couple more features in there. So similar to, it's similar to Grammarly, but just maybe a few more features inside of there. And there is a place, you can click on write and it will take away all of those editing, so students maybe could, if they want to just write in there, and then they can click on edit and then it will pop up and show them areas that they need to change. All right, so that's Hemingway. Yes, we will leave. Okay, quick rubric. I have a couple different rubric makers that I'm going to show you today, but this one is called Quick Rubric. So when you log into it and you go to My Rubrics, it basically gives you so you don't have to worry about making a table or making the cell files in Excel the right size to print so it's not 10 pages and prints on one. So it kind of just does all that formatting for you. And so you can just type right inside these boxes, and then you can say whatever the topic is, and then you can change what the title is and what the points are worth. You can add rows, add columns, and then when you hit save, it will save it for you inside Quick Rubric, but then you can download it as a PDF, as a Word document, or an Excel document. So it kind of takes away that formatting. You ain't got time for formatting. Okay, this next one, I'm going to share this one with you and probably one other one I'm just going to add in as a bonus. So if you had K-12 educator friends, write this down and tell them about this. They will love you for the rest of your life. This is called ThemeSpark. I also use it for some of the undergrad classes that I might have to create a rubric for. Why K-12 teachers will love you for the rest of your life is because it's attached to the Common Core standards. So what they can do is they can click in here and they can click ELA, they can save it, they can click maybe grade 12, and then they can go all the way down to what standard it is. And then this is the part that always get oohs and ahs, is you can actually select what substandards you want inside your rubric. How I use this with in post-secondary world is, let's say I have a writing assignment, and Common Core standards, they have really good ones for grammar and editing and showing all those things. And what this does is it takes the standard and it breaks it down for you into a rubric. So it took that standard and popped it out. So I do not have to write for language for spelling for this assignment. I'll just pull it over from here. So I kind of borrow from there. K-12 educators, this is like gold to them because that makes a whole rubric for you. It's kind of amazing. The other one that's out there, this is not linked on there, but is called Rubistar. Has anyone used Rubistar before? Oh. Okay. So when I go to Rubistar, you can click here. It actually takes you all to the same spot. It's a little bit of an older website, so there's not fancy clicking features. It's kind of basic. But when you click on one of these, so maybe you have students are making a brochure for something. So I'm going to click on this, and what it will do, just waiting for that internet. There it goes. So you'll have to, you can put your name, first and last, a title, and then this comes out of a university, so it will ask you for a zip code. You just want to track who's using it. It comes from out of a university. But what it is, so when I'm down here on the rubric, I can click on the category, so maybe sources. And then it auto-populates that rubric out for you for sources. But then the cool feature is you can go in there and you can edit it to be whatever you want. So, you know, maybe like you don't want this part, but you want to change it to something else for your assignment. Kind of gives you that base, which, you know, that's what makes writing rubrics so hard. It's just starting the rubric. So it gives you a good starting place to go for it. And so play around on these to kind of find what the different rubrics offer for all of these, because what I like to do with any sort of rubric maker is I'll make the rubric on there, but I'll use ThemeSpark and Rubistar to make my rubric and just copy and paste those into my own table. And then, because they kind of offer some different features for me. So kind of play around and see what it has for you. Okay.
Can I ask a real quick question?
Yeah.
Can any of these rubric makers be imported into Canvas or other elementary?
No, they can't. But you, I just copy and paste. Yeah.
Is that .com, Rubistar.com?
Let's see. .org. Here, let me just add it to that sheet real quick for you guys. Take 2 seconds.
Did you know you skipped comment?
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you want to say anything about it?
Yep.
Is it self-explanatory?
No, let me go there. Thank you. I didn't realize I skipped Common Lit. I tried to open up all of them before we started. Okay, so I was told that I skipped Common Lit, so I'm going to come back to it right now. Common Lit. It is a website that houses so many different pieces of literature, writing, news articles, and maybe articles that go along with books. So maybe your English class is reading a novel. You can look up that book and it will pull up text to be paired with it. But it has all of these different, and let me just click here to show you one. So we're going to click on this one here. So it has text that goes with it, has questions, guiding questions. It has an assessment that it goes along with the text, and also discussion questions that you can have with it. So that is kind of like a literature-focused one, but it is it's pretty awesome what it does with the paired text, because you can type any novel you're reading in there, and it will bring up 5 or 6 that go right alongside of it. Pretty cool feature. So that's Common Lit. Okay, this next one is Adobe Spark, and I talked about it in my last session. I love Adobe Spark. It's a bang for your buck platform because it has 3 different tools inside of one, and it's all free. So some people are like, oh, Adobe Editor. It's not Adobe Editor, but it does come from that. It's their education platforms. So when you're here on Adobe Spark, this plus button, usually whenever you see that in something, it takes you to another menu. So you can make a post, a page, or a video. When I click on post, a post is something like, you're scrolling through Pinterest and you see like those motivational quotes and things. Most likely were made on Adobe Post. It makes little square images or larger images, but it will make, it'll make small posters or handouts or postcards, or maybe I use it for a mnemonic assignment, so they have to create a mnemonic on there. But what's cool is it's all housed right inside of here, so students can search right inside of Adobe Spark and pull in a picture and text to put on there. So I'm just going to click on one of these just so you can see kind of what it looks like. And then you can edit from here. So you can make images with Adobe Post. Okay, and then the other ones, the next one is Adobe Page. If you have your students making a portfolio or a presentation or something, Adobe Page is a great one for that. It makes really visually pleasing. They're kind of like websites is what they look like, but the scroll features are amazing on them. So you can add, again, right in here, you can search right inside of here, which kind of the user accessibility features, it does make it nice for students to be able to just, because I think sometimes it's overwhelming to think like, oh, I need to make something on this new program that I don't know, but it's all housed right inside of there, so that kind of does take away some of that. But you can scroll, you can add text, you can add videos, you can add photos, you can link to a website. They can create really nice presentations or portfolios or assignments for you. Kind of just a way to just kind of switch it up on what students are demonstrating. My favorite one is Adobe Video. I like this. As I said in the last session, you get done making an Adobe video and you're like, wow, I'm really talented, because it makes you look really good. It's a video editor, and it has slides on the bottom part of it right here. So it's kind of easy. There's slides down there. Let me scroll. Let's see. You guys can kind of see them now. So like Post and Page, you can put videos and text and icons inside of here. But this is the cool feature, this little orange microphone. I click on that and it starts recording everything that I'm saying. And then I take my thumb off and it stops recording. So I can record per slide, which is nice. So I click this plus button right here and it adds more slides for me. You can change the theme. You can add music. This is the part that really makes you look like you know what you're doing, is it will put a little background for you throughout your whole video. And it just really pulls it together nicely. So students can make really nice products for you. Maybe if you have them write a reflection paper, maybe instead of writing a reflection paper, they make a reflection video using Adobe Post. You'll get the same great reflection from them, but a different output. So, and you can also use it to create for your students to get information from you. So 3 things: Post, Page, and video inside of there. All right, next one on the list. Am I in order? Quizzes? Doing good? Okay. So quizzes, and it's spelled kind of funky, quiz-I-Z-Z, is a place where you can make your own quizzes, or you can have, students can make their own, or you can go and find some that are already made. But it's an interactive, kind of similar if you were in the Socrative session this morning. You can post it, and there's a little join code. And then the students answer the questions as it goes, and so you can have it be more game-like, or you can take away those game features, and it can just be a formative assessment for you. And I do believe on quizzes you can like start a quiz, and it can be out there for homework. So maybe they have like this week to complete this quizzes assignment, and it's posted live, and at any point in that week they can log in and take it. Okay, quizzes. Okay, this is an interesting one and kind of fun. If you use YouTube videos in your teaching, this is called MOOC Note, and what it is, and I'm just going to let you kind of see. I'm going to scroll back to this first picture here. What it does is it takes YouTube videos, and students can take notes during the video, and it will timestamp all of their notes and save it to the side, and then it will create a larger document of all of your notes. So if you want them watching a YouTube video, and maybe you have them taking notes or something on there, or answering questions maybe, they can take that and it will timestamp all of their notes. So then they can go back and reference where it was, or maybe if they had a question or something. But it just works right alongside the YouTube videos. And you upload a video in there, or they have selected content. You can just pick the video out. Kind of a cool feature there. Okay. Quizlet, not to be confused with quizzes, but Quizlet is more of a flashcard type study that students can do. So you can make your own study set for your classroom and share it out to all of your students, or students can go in and make their own study set to study for maybe a test or something. You can have a class inside here, so you can see who's using the flashcards and who's studying them. There are lots of already made Quizlet packages like flashcards in here, so you might be able to find something and work from it. I think always the biggest disclaimer on that is like go through the card deck or go through the video before you give it to your students, because you don't know what's in there, right? So even though maybe it comes from another educator and it comes from an education platform, it still could be, you don't want to be up in front, woo, close that down. Okay, so just always make sure you look through something before you use it. But Quizlet has a lot of pre-made flashcard decks that you can use within your class, or you can make your own. Okay, Edpuzzle. If you're in my last session, you heard me say Edpuzzle is one of my favorite platforms out there. I use Edpuzzle all the time. So what you can do with Edpuzzle is you can create classes, and then inside of here, it's a tool for students to watch videos. What makes it so cool, and why I'm always so excited about it, is you can when I hit this create button, I'm gonna hit new video. It already has YouTube, Khan Academy, TED Talks videos already linked in there, so you could search within there. Or let's say you found a YouTube video and you're like, I want to put this into an Edpuzzle. Just search the title. It will pull it over for you. But I'm just going to click on this here. I'm just going to click on this one. When I hover over this, it says use it. All right, and this is why it's so cool. So you can edit down the video to be whatever amount of that you want. Super easy, just by moving those little crosshair things right there. Okay, so I can edit it. I can click to this next part of the editing bar, and before my students start watching the video, maybe I want them to know something about the video. So I click this little microphone, and I can record over the top of the video. So I can record my voice. So maybe you want to explain it, but you like the video, you can explain the diagram that's happening inside of there. The other feature is you can add in audio notes. So maybe you want to ask your students a question right here, or you want to tell them something. I click on that and it's recording everything that I'm saying right now. And then I just hit stop. And then when students get to that point in the video will stop, and then it will play you talking, and then the video will just continue. The last feature is you can add quizzes or questions anywhere throughout the video. So when I'm on this, I can click in any part of this bar and this green question mark will pop up. I can add an open-ended question for students to answer. I can add a multiple choice and it will grade it for you. It will grade that. Or I can add in just a place for leave a comment. I want just students to comment or reflect on something. So you can add in all those features throughout the video. You can add as many notes or as many questions as you want. And then when you hit finish, you can have your students join your class. You can create a class inside of here. It's just a little join code for them. Never changes. But this is one of the other really cool features. So you can click this button and prevent skipping. So your students have to watch the entire video in order to complete it. You can put a due date on it. And then what's really awesome from a formative assessment standpoint is I can look. So these are some videos that students have watched, and I can go on here and I can see, so I have all my questions down here, and then this is the bar to show the video progress. If they watch it twice, it'll be a little darker green. If they watch it 4 times, it'll be in red. And It will show you how many times they watched the video, or maybe have to rewatch a segment to answer a question. It's quite formative data to see where maybe you need to go back and reteach something or where a student is not understanding. You can grade inside Edpuzzle, but it doesn't speak to LMSs, so it's typically easier just to put it right into your LMS. Okay, recap. Recap is another formative assessment tool. Recap, students record videos to kind of replay or recap the lesson to you. How about I say that word one more time? So this one, I'm going to show you this demo one, so I don't show you the videos of my students. So these are fourth graders on here, but I use this with adults, okay? And they're asked a question, and it's going to do a little bit
Story
of
is frozen,
playback.
and
Okay.
when
So she's
my favorite part of it is when
telling the
Elsa
favorite part
and
of the story.
Anna
Okay, she has 20
they got back
seconds
together
to
as
answer the question.
sisters.
So it's kind of nice that it's limited. So, you know, some people are long-winded. So it just cuts them right off, right? And then you can, if you teach online, I teach online. And so I get to know my students through recap. I get to see them talk, and I get to, it's more than just a discussion board. And so I enjoy that feature quite a bit. And you can add multiple questions into one recap, and you can watch it. You can leave them a comment on here. You can grade in here. You can set off a video for a week or a whole course at a time, and they just have to watch it at some point in there. You can put due dates on them. I have not hit a video limit in terms of costing money. There's 71 people who have participated in this recap, and they're still letting me do it. So I don't know if there's a cap. The next one is Flipgrid. Flipgrid's whole premise is to ignite discussion. So let's see if I can show. I may have, Flipgrid does cost, you can have one Flipgrid that that goes. So you kind of have to play around with that a little bit. But so here are some of my students. You hit this plus button, and so this was the question that they had to reflect on, and then they record themselves talking, and then they'll post it. And then the whole idea is you see everyone else is in class. So instead of a typed out discussion board, it's a video discussion board. And then students can respond to each other. I love it. It's fun. It pushes students out of their comfort zone a little bit, and also pushes you whenever you have to record yourself. Always does. And so you get to see more, and it just creates a different dynamic. Okay, that's Flipgrid. EdShelf. EdShelf is, it's basically a virtual bookshelf for all of these platforms. So you heard about Quizlet, you heard about Canva. You can go in here and you can find it, and you can add it to a bookshelf. So you can go back and access it. Also, it has every single platform you could ever think of in here. And so you could say, you know, maybe I need platforms for social emotional tools. Just clicking on that one, you can go in here and kind of see what's in here. They're all rated by educators, people with comments about how they work or didn't work. So it's kind of like a data house or database for platforms. Dotstorming. Dotstorming is a participant interactive platform. So you can pop up a question or something for your students to do or think about, and they'll with a code get into your Dotstorm and post on here, and then their post will pop up. And then it's based off of a voting system. So the whole thing is you add dots to each other's, and you vote for which one you resonated with the most, or who had the best point, or something like that. It's basically a way to get people's ideas up collaboratively on a website. Okay, next one is Asana. Asana is for you, it's not for your students. Well, it could be for your students, but it is a virtual to-do list. It organizes everything. So you can make different projects. You can have teams. So this is my Docheo Center Asana. So my whole team is on here, and we can collaborate inside of here. I can create a task, and maybe it's me and my coworker. So I'll add Maureen to it. We'll attach documents. We'll say what needs to be done. And it's a task management system, project management system, really, to get things done. It's cool because there's an app for it. So I can, if I'm like, oh, I need to remember that, I add it to my Asana on here, and then it will also pop up over here. So that's kind of a nice feature just to keep you organized. Okay. Mentimeter. Mentimeter is really fun. It is also a crowd participation a platform. I was going to see if I had one that had people participating on there. So you can pop up a question. Oh, cool. So you can pop up a question, and it will pop up a code for your audience. It'll say, go to Minty.com, type in this code, and then you can have it be, their answers can make a wordle. It could just pop up as words. It could be a flow. It could be, you can make, if I've seen one person do this really well, I'm not there. But you hit new presentation, and so you can make multiple choice, image clouds, open-ended questions. This matrix is the one I've seen one person do, and how they answer it. So matrix, like I said, I'm not there. And then you can have just title slides. It's a good, if you do tend to lecture more and not have interactive places for your students, Mentimeter is a great way to kind of break up that lecturing a little bit and have them participate in a question or an activity. It's a good way to kind of break up that flow. Okay. This next one is, if you use Google Docs at all, there's a rubric maker. It's Doctopus and Rubric. So what this does is, and I linked this video here because it shows you how to set it up, but I'm just going to explain it to you. So if your students submit something to you in a Google Doc, it will take your rubric and it will pop it up on the top of the document. So when you pull it up into your browser, it will have your student's document, and then a little toolbar will pop up right here with your rubric. And then you can read through, you can click where they fall on the rubric, and then you hit submit, and then it takes that rubric and puts it on the bottom of their paper. So then it's down here on the bottom of the document, and then students you can either send that back to students, or they go back in there and check. But it's just kind of it's a paperless way to use a rubric, and it speaks well with Google. So this is this video, it's really good. It tells you how to set it up. Okay, next one. This is another one. If you tend to lean towards lecture, this is a Chrome extension, and it's called Move It. And you can set it for 15, 20, 10 minutes. And every 10 minutes, it will just turn your screen red like this, and it will give you an activity, something to do, a movement. Climb a ladder and spot for a count of 10. 10 jumping jacks. Something to get up and move. And if you forget, like, I've been talking for 30 minutes, maybe they need to get up. It will do that for you every 10, 15, 20, however you want to set it. All right, next one, Padlet. Padlet is an interactive kind of bulletin board. You can make a Padlet, and basically people post on the Padlet. So it's very easy to set up. I set it up while I was just talking right there. I double click anywhere, a little box will pop up, and people can write. You can add pictures, video, text, all of that to it. It's a really great interactive tool. Okay. How are we doing on time? We got 10 minutes. All right. Mindomo. Mindomo is, it basically creates mind maps. So if you have, I always think back to like story writing or something that's like, oh, but if you're creating concept maps or something, it has these pre-made maps, but you can also move them around and create different types of word charts. But just a good spot for students to organize ideas or concepts from their class. It is a free website, and just kind of works well for them to be able to create something that's a mind map. Okay. Next one, Bitly. Do you ever need to get your students somewhere? Maybe they needed someone to get to the survey that's written up here. Okay, so instead of writing out the whole long URL, you can make a shortened URL. It's super simple. So this is just called bit.ly. It's bit.ly. And when I hit this create button, so maybe I want people to get to Powtoon. So I'm going to paste the long link here. And then it made me a little shortened link right here. So that's if you're up and you need students to get somewhere, you can create these shortened URLs to get them there. Also, Bitly tracks data, so it tells you how many people have accessed it, how long. That's for like the business building side of things, but it's an easy way to create shortened URLs. Okay, let's get rid of this little ad. Okay, Powtoon. Powtoon is a great platform for students to create a product for you. So it makes little cartoons. I couldn't remember the first part of that word. All I could remember was tunes. It makes cartoons, and they're little animated little guys, and you can. It is a little. It's maybe like a little. I say advanced, but it's not really advanced. You can totally do it. But you can record your voice. You can make your little character. You can explain things. Students can use it for a project. So it's a great, again, alternative to maybe if a PowerPoint presentation or something, just trying to change up some of those things. So that is a cool one. Okay, Nearpod. Has anyone used Nearpod before? A few people? Okay, Nearpod is awesome. It is basically, I describe it as PowerPoint on steroids. So what you can do is you can take your PowerPoints that you have and you can upload them into Nearpod, or you can just make your own Nearpod presentation. And you can embed inside of your presentation activity slides and interactions for your students. So let's say, I'm just going to click new here so you can just see new lesson. So you can see all the slides. So this is the editing place for it. If I wanted to pull up my old, like bring in my PowerPoints, I can upload them right here and it'll make a slide for each one that's in there. Okay. So I can add a content slide. So I can have, if there's PhET simulations that are inside of there, there's, you can embed sways, slideshows, videos, audios, a PDF viewer. You can add a website. So students go directly to the website and it will take them in there inside Nearpod. Or you can add activities. So you can add open-ended questions, polls, quizzes. You can have students draw things out. You can have students collaborate inside, fill in the blanks, or a memory test. So how Nearpod works is I, as the teacher, would start a Nearpod. So let's say this is the one that I want to start. I would click live lesson, and it's going to pop up a code. And my students will go to nearpod.com and they'll enter in this code. And then what it will do is bring it up on all of their screens, whether it's a phone, a computer, a tablet. And then I, as a teacher, I'm controlling their screens. So when I hit this arrow button, it makes everyone's screen go to the next one. So you don't actually need to have yours up here, but because this is kind of like the teacher view, but it will give, then it'll have the activities inside of there. So this is a 3D one, so students can walk around this carnival right here. But then it pulls all that quiz data and everything for you into this nice little document at the end, so you can see everything that your students did. It's really cool. And also this is integrated with Canvas LMS system. So if you guys use Canvas, Nearpod and Canvas Speak, which is nice. If you work at NNU, we have licenses. Okay, Socrative, this is like a quizzing platform. So you can create multiple choice quizzes, true false quizzes, or short answer. And it's kind of the same concept of the Kahoot, where a quiz is. You post it up, they have a join code, and then they participate on their phone, on their tablet, or their computer. It will save all of the information for you. So at the end, you can print off the report and use that as formative data for you in your instruction. Okay. Next one, PictoChart. PictoChart creates infographics. So this is a great place to send your students to do that. When you hit Create New, you can make infographics, presentations, or a printable. It has themes and templates that you can start from, or you can start from scratch. It has graphics. You can easily input pictures and text and links inside of there. Students can download it and send it to you. They can share a link of it to you. So it's an easy way to make infographics and posters. Okay, I think I'm on my last one. Real-time board. Real-time board is a kind of online collaboration board, and students can, this board is infinite. So you can keep zooming out and you could just keep adding to it. You can, when you click on here, you can add, let's see, trying to remember it. I remember this. Maybe I can't remember it this second. But when, I thought I had one made in here. It basically, it looks like a whole bunch of sticky notes on there, so they can collaborate over the project or a concept or an activity that you're asking them to do. But you have multiple users in there collaborating on the board, and then the whole concept is it does it in real time, so it's updating. So if you are online and your students are spread out, it's a nice way for them to be able to come together and work together on something. They just look like a whole bunch of little post-it notes all over the board. And you can add images and text and videos and links onto those. Yeah, I don't know if it's down there.
Oh, no.
But, yeah. Okay. All right. Did I miss any? Awesome. 30 platforms in 50 minutes. There you go. If you guys have any questions about them, you can come and ask me. Yeah. Thanks for coming.
I wish I had a bottle of water for you. Are you kidding?
I know.
I was like, gonna go run.